Hey guys, it's XD here, and with Season 2 of XDefiant right around the corner, I wanted to give my thoughts on all the stuff we got in Season 1, what I liked and didn't like, and some ways XDefiant could improve going into future seasons. While Season 1 missed the mark in so many ways, I really liked all the new stuff they added to the game. The GSK Faction, the new maps and weapons, Capture the Flag, and Ranked. We'll go over all of it at the end, and I'll give you guys my letter grade for XDefiant Season 1. How would you grade the first season? Let me know in the comments below. It's tough to see XDefiant come out the gates like Lucky Day.
The long shot Lucky Day appears to be having trouble getting out of the gate. Only a sucker could have bet on that.
No. But it's important to remember that they're just going to keep adding new content that'll continue to transform the game the more and more that's added. By next year, the factions, maps, modes, and weapon roster will have all nearly doubled. Alright, let's start with everyone's favorite, the cosmetics. Now guys, this might be my most extreme XDefiant opinion. I like some of the cosmetics. I don't know what to say. I really like a lot of the simpler skins. I just wish we had a ton more of them. I really liked this particular Libertad skin just because of the color palette. I think if they made a bunch of simple skins like this for each faction and locked them behind faction specific challenges, boom, you've got some good progression. I would literally grind for hours just for 10 different color swaps of this skin just because it's free, and I think it looks really cool for a free skin, but maybe I'm alone. Another thing I might be alone about are the emojis. I love these things, bro. I want a new emoji pack every week, goddammit. I love reacting after dying in funny ways or exchanging emojis throughout the match with a rival. The only thing that makes a clean multi-kill better is when the enemy reacts afterwards. This is why I have to spread the word. React to your deaths more. Spread that joy and emotion to other players. Don't have an ego. If you get shit on, send an emoji. That's the one thing I find myself trying to do when I hop on any other shooter. Now there are a lot of questionable skins for questionable prices. That part seems undeniable, and even I can admit I groan when I see some of these cosmetics. If I see the golf pants camo one more time, man. I like simple camos too, but these battle passes definitely could be better. The cosmetics as a whole seem to be getting a facelift in the coming months. I just hope they put some stuff out that people really want to buy for everyone's sake. I just wish every game's cosmetics was like the finals. Sure, fully mixing and matching your entire character's outfit is best in class from the finals, and being able to buy individual pieces from bundles is awesome, but what I'm really talking about when I say I wish more games were like the finals, what I really mean is we really got to throw this whole daily shop thing out the window. If you've got cosmetics, why are you locking them away and stopping people from buying them? Now that the finals has been out for almost a year, there's a huge plethora of cosmetics you can buy at a wide range of prices. Just look at all this stuff. Seeing it all together really helps differentiate each cosmetic in a quick, effective way. This is just my personal window shopping analysis, but I think it's a lot more appealing seeing cosmetics like this as opposed to a daily shop where only one or two skins are the focus. Suddenly, those one or two skins have to be the coolest shit ever. They're plastered all over the front page. Show us every skin we could buy when we're choosing our faction skins. I just think they really aren't helping their sales by literally locking away 90% of their cosmetics at a time. And speaking of the faction skin page, I really think they should push this entire page to be included in the main lobby screen. Show your players their characters to help build that faction identity. Expand on this with different lobby backgrounds for each faction, and to even further expand on this, when we get faction challenges, different faction specific lobby backgrounds could be rewards that people would actually appreciate, especially if they make them really cool. The last thing I'll say that needs to change about cosmetics is something we've all been saying about battle passes for a long time. Let people buy older battle passes. Let people give you their money and play the game more. Them thinking they're creating any sort of FOMO with these battle passes in 2024, it's deluded. Like, if someone sees a skin they like from an older battle pass, wouldn't it be a better business strategy to let the players still be able to purchase that battle pass instead of being like, oh, that's from the season 1 battle pass, I can't get it, that kind of sucks. Oh well. Anyway, if a player picks up the game and they're really liking it and playing it all the time, if you let them buy older battle passes, it just gives them more reasons to keep grinding the game and more reasons to give you their money. And it's all old content too, but it could still be new content for every new player that buys it after the season ended. Anyways, that's enough about cosmetics. Next, let's get into the new faction we got this season. Now, I haven't really seen many people giving GSK any gas, but ever since season 1, I've been loving this faction, guys. The helmet to block headshots is a really nice passive, but I've heard people complaining about the helmet having no place in an arena FPS, similar to Phantom's bonus health, which seems to be catching a nerf next season, by the way. But I really can't agree with the helmet haters, and I'm someone who aims for the head way too much in every game. Aiming head level's great. Most aimers would tell you to shoot him in the frickin' face, but I always found myself chasing the head, and missing easy shots as a result when I could have killed them easier and quicker with body shots. I think knowing when not to aim for the head is just as much of a skill as being able to actually hit headshots, and GSK's helmet keeps me on my toes in that regard. Getting a trophy system into XDefiant was huge for the game, and the ADS definitely delivered above and beyond. Being able to place it on ceilings and walls does add a bit more strategy and depth to placing it. DedSec being able to hijack the ADS is a nice element of counterplay too. It just feels like the ADS is right at home in XDefiant. It can be a little weird to place down sometimes though. Now, the shock wire I actually really like, but I don't know, it feels like it needs some sort of change. It's so clunky to throw down for such a fast-paced game, and being able to put 3 shock wires down at once seems really strong, even if it takes a bit to get them all down. Also, shock wire in CTF just seems like too much of a crutch. I don't know, I just don't like that I know there will always be shock wire layered on the enemy's flag. Sure, you just have to nade or melee it, but it just seems like if you're playing ranked CTF, someone has to use shock wire. I almost think they should disable shock wire for CTF until they figure it out. Nonetheless, the ability is really fun to use in every mode. If you haven't tried out GSK yet, you should. The faction's really fun, especially if you love playing objective. I personally think they killed it with the Flash Shield Ultra too. It's so fun and trolly to use, but it's actually really strong and again, really good for objective players. You're so hard to deal with if you play your shield right, and you can just keep chaining flashes. This ult, next to Echelon ult, is the most fun ult in the game to me. It really feels so unfair to run around with. I love it. So far to me, XDefiant is handling a tough situation very, very well. How do we add new stuff in that feels powerful enough for people to like it, but not too powerful that it negatively impacts the entire game? It's gonna be really cool to see this game's faction and weapon rosters expand, and so far, XDefiant seems to be steering the meta ship not just fine, but well. The new weapons and buffs we got this season show that too. This season we got 3 weapons, the LVOA assault rifle, the L9 sniper, and the double barrel shotty secondary. And honestly guys, these weapons to me all feel like great fun additions to the game. They didn't come in and take over the meta or anything, but all of these weapons are very strong, and most importantly, they're fun to use, especially the sniper and the shotty. The sniper feels like a quickscoper's best friend, and it looks great with the mastery camos too. It quickly became my favorite sniper, even without attachments. They nerfed snipers a few times in season 1, but it looks like in season 2 they're pulling back some of the flinch they gave them, which I think is good. They really went hard nerfing the snipers. They needed the nerfs, but they went a little too far. Glad they recognized and they're dialing it back. Then you've got the double barrel shotgun, which it's so troll yet so strong, but I don't think anyone really uses it. I definitely recommend trying this thing out if you have it unlocked. It's a nice surprise for enemies that think they caught you on a reload. Even the LVOA feels like it has a place on close quarters maps. So to me, the new weapon additions for season 1 were solid. If every season gave us 3 weapons as good as these, I'd be happy. The only thing that kind of sucks is how long it takes to unlock these new weapons. Level 75 for the double barrel secondary just doesn't feel right. I just feel like it should be a bit faster of an unlock. It'd be cool if you could choose which new weapon you wanted to start unlocking first, and then you had weapon specific challenges for each weapon. Even if it took a long time, having to get like hipfire and multi-kills with shotguns to unlock the new shotgun feels more like a real challenge thematically, as opposed to just another unlock on the battle pass page. With how it is now, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of players don't even realize when they unlock one of the new battle pass weapons. We also got some much needed buffs to some of the weaker weapons. The shotguns, MDR, M4, and MP5 all caught buffs, and besides the M4, the buffs actually propelled all these weapons into really good spots. The M4 is pretty good too. The shotguns are actually insane now though, and if you haven't tried them since their mid-season buff, I highly recommend them now. They're so fun to use, all 3 of them. But my favorite has always been the pump. Once you get the pistol grip and the choke barrel attachments unlocked, the shotguns really start hitting hard. The MDR is pretty nasty after it got buffed too. The heavy barrel turns this thing into a cannon. Another gun I would say is a must try after the buffs, especially on small maps like Arena and Rockefeller. Same with the buffed MP5. This thing is a headshot aimer's best friend. Honestly, all the SMGs are in a good spot right now. Plus, I think we got another one coming next season. And with how they've been handling weapon balance in XDefiant, I'm actually excited to get my hands on the new stuff and see how it actually fits into the game. As opposed to on COD, where you know the new weapon will either be complete dog water or it's gonna be the most OP weapon in Call of Duty history for 2 months to sell bundles, ruining every lobby the weapon touches the entire time, and then it being nerfed to obscurity. That's not real weapon balance. It honestly seems like the definition of fake weapon balancing to me. I'm glad XDefiant has been buffing instead of nerfing. The only gun gun that I think needs a nerf right now is that damn Vector. That thing is insane. It's like it's pulled out of a different game or something. Like, I got my ACR, I'm playing XDefiant, and then someone comes around the corner and melts me in the blink of an eye with this thing like they're playing Call of Duty Ghosts. Alright, let's talk about the new maps we got this season, and honestly, they're all fantastic. XDefiant continues to knock it out of the park with delivering great looking maps with good flow and consistent spawns. We started season 1 with Clubhouse, and honestly, as I played the map more and more, I really fell in love with it. It's such a fun map for 6v6. The B flag on domination is always a bloodbath, and the occupy zones are the same. This map just feels so action-packed, and despite being XDefiant's most cluttered map, visual clarity is not an issue whatsoever. I'm just still impressed to this day they dropped a Rainbow Six map into this map and it just fits in no problem. I wonder what other Rainbow Six maps they'll throw in next. I don't know any Rainbow Six maps. Seizures out there, what are some Rainbow Six maps y'all want to see in XDefiant? The next map we got in season was Daytona, and honestly, it's a shame that a lot of players probably have never played it because they just stick to the arena modes. Ever since Daytona came in, it instantly became my favorite linear map. Visually, it obviously looks great, but objective zones and power positions are really well done on this map too. It just feels like there's so many fun areas to fight in on this map. Compared to some of these other linear maps, Daytona really is fun to play. Compared to a map like Meltdown, where the offensive start feels like storming the beaches of Normandy. The final season 1 map we got was Rockefeller, and they really saved the best for last with this one. Just such an instant classic that is, yes, again, I know I sound like a broken record with these XDefiant maps. Blame them, not me. A map that visually looks great and also plays great. Like, I love that this map is always super hectic, but there's still defined and defensible bases on each side of the map for each team. It really helps give every mode good structure and consistency, despite the smaller map size. We already had such a great selection of maps to choose from going into season 1. I'm still not sure what my favorite is, but I love pretty much every map in this game. I'd even go to bat for Mayday. Shit, I'd rather play Mayday than COD. I don't want to hear it. Mayday's Checkmate's cooler older brother. What's your favorite XDefiant map overall? And of the new season 1 maps? If I had to pick, I'm going with Liberty and Rockefeller. Okay, let's talk the new mode, Capture the Flag. Now, while CTF is one of my favorite modes of all time, they definitely missed the mark with the mode both in pubs and ranked. CTF in COD is historically a pretty low population mode, and the same seems to be true in XDefiant. Most players just kind of want to play TDM, Dom, or Occupy, but I think it has potential to be one of the most fun modes. Right now, 6v6 CTF rules with a 4 cap limit can make a lot of games quick stomps, while ranked CTF matches with a no cap limit makes a lot of the games painstakingly long. Plus, I don't think CTF spawns are working as intended, so I'm looking forward to seeing the mode in a much better spot going into season 2, but if they need to take CTF out of ranked for season 2 to fix the spawns or whatever, they should do it. I'm CTF's biggest fan. I'm so glad we got it in the game so fast, but right now it's a real sour spot for ranked. Hopefully they make those changes quick. We actually got a lot of good ranked improvements this season. They were just too slow to get them out, so a lot of people put the mode down before then and didn't even get to play with all these new changes. If you haven't played ranked since the faction skill limit and the improvements to elo gains, give it a shot, especially if you're still in bronze. The mode still needs a lot of work, but you can still have some really fun matches, and they've made a lot of good improvements. You don't lose elo in bronze anymore, and you get a lot more elo for winning in general too. Now, like I said, ranked still isn't quite perfect yet, but really I would say my main issue with the mode is that it just needs more players, particularly on NA West, because I'm on 80 ping damn near every ranked game. That shit's crazy. But NA Central and East seem to be doing just fine. So get in there, rank up, and bring your friends. I'm sure there's a ton more people playing in the bronze to gold ranks compared to when I first started. When it comes to all the new stuff we got in XDefiant Season 1, I can honestly say pretty much everything we got was pretty great. XDefiant's ability to be a live service game stems from its ability to make great maps, factions, and weapons. And so far, they're proving they have what it takes to deliver on new content. Sure, we're still waiting on a lot of key features like prestige and other forms of progression, all those bells and whistles. But as for the new additions to actual gameplay, XDefiant's killing it. If they can keep giving us new fun ways to play the same game, people will stick around for a long time. And when they give us the bells and whistles like prestige and free-to-play cosmetics on top of all of that, we'll really have a game that a lot of people won't want to put down. My main complaint with Season 1 when it came out was that there wasn't really enough new stuff to play with right at the start, and I hope they make some changes to make the start of the season feel like a new chapter of the game. I get why they don't want to release all their maps at the start of the season and why they want players to have to level up the battle pass to unlock the new weapons, but they really need to do a bit more at the start of the season to make it feel like we're playing something new. I know it's probably too much to ask, but I just wish we were getting 2 maps right at the start with the 24/7 playlist of these maps together. This would alleviate people not even trying a new linear linear map, and in turn might get people to queue up for more linear modes in general. Overall, I'm gonna grade XDefiant Season 1 with a B-. We all really wanted to see an A out of XDefiant's first season, but it's not unreasonable to assume a game will have most of its issues at the beginning. So I'm willing to wait and see what they can bring us in this first year, because even though there was a lot of issues and what felt like inaction this first season, the stuff they did deliver has me excited for what they'll bring us next. We've already got a lot of great changes coming to Season 2, on top of the new maps, weapons, and factions. We've got the removal of Spider-Bot, a major netcode update, the One Life Bomb mode, and more ranked improvements, all on the way with this next season. Alright, that's my review of XDefiant Season 1. Thanks for watching, and if you liked the video, subscribe to the channel for more XDefiant content. And shout out to subscriber number 739, Christian Iracheta. Glad you're enjoying the videos. Comments like these really fuel my fire. I appreciate all of you out there for leaving such kind comments. And check out my channel for all kinds of XDefiant content. Spawn guides, faction and weapon overviews, a random sniper montage, shorts, and more. Alright, that's it for me. Bye-bye!
Only a sucker could have bet on that.
No, don't sweat it, man. He does this all the time. He just playing.
But what's this? Lucky Day's not crushing his way through the